Ugly flowers, Instagram star. That's right. I turned my sad, crispy hydrangeas into the kind of blooms that make your neighbors pretend they're just casually walking by your house for the third time this week. Look, I'll be honest with you. I killed 29 hydrangeas before I figured this out. 29. That's not a typo. That's a botanical massacre. My living room looked less like a Pinterest dream and more like a plant cemetery with delusions of grandeur. But hydrangea number 30? Oh, she's thriving. She's living her best life. She's got blooms the size of my head, and honestly, she's getting more compliments than I am at this point. And you know what the difference was? 3 drops. 3 drops. If you want to know what those 3 drops are and how they saved me from becoming the neighborhood plant killer, smash that subscribe button for Plant Care Secret, because we're about to turn your brown thumb into a green weapon of mass attraction. So let me paint you a picture of my personal hydrangea horror story. Last spring, I walked into a garden center with confidence. Too much confidence. The dangerous kind of confidence that comes from watching 5 YouTube videos and thinking you're basically a botanist. I bought a gorgeous blue hydrangea. Premium, expensive. The kind that makes you feel fancy just carrying it to your car. I imagined my living room transformed into this Instagram-worthy oasis where people would come over and say things like, "Wow, your space is so calming." And, "Did you hire an interior designer?" Week 1, beautiful. I felt like a plant goddess. I was taking photos, posting stories, living the dream. Week 2, some brown edges appeared. Probably just adjusting, I told myself. This is fine. Everything is fine. Week 3, the blooms started looking like someone had taken a blowtorch to them. Not fine, definitely not fine, but surely I could fix this, right? Spoiler alert, I could not fix this. That hydrangea died. And then I bought another one, and another one, and another one. Each time, thinking, this time will be different. This time I know what I'm doing. Narrator voice, she did not know what she was doing. By hydrangea number 15, my partner looked at me and said, "Maybe we should just get a plastic plant." Plastic. Can you imagine the betrayal, the audacity? But here's the thing about failing 29 times. You either give up or you get obsessed. And I don't do giving up. I do borderline unhealthy levels of research at 2 a.m. while eating chips and questioning my life choices. So there I was, hydrangea number 30 on my coffee table, looking at me with what I swear was judgment in her leaves. And that's when I stumbled onto something, not in a scientific journal, not in some fancy gardening book, but in a conversation with my grandmother, who's been growing hydrangeas since before I was born. I called her, desperate, probably sounding unhinged. "Grandma, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong?" And you know what she said? "Honey, are you misting them?" Misting? Misting? I had tried special soil, fancy fertilizers, singing to them, yes, really. Strategic placement near windows, away from windows, motivational speeches. But misting? 3 drops of water on the leaves, she said. Every morning, that's all mine need. I'm not going to lie. I was skeptical. After 29 failures, I was skeptical of everything, including my own ability to keep a cactus alive, which, for the record, I also killed once. But that's another therapy session. But I was desperate, so I tried it. 3 drops of water on the leaves every single morning, and something magical happened. Now, Before you think this is some kind of witchcraft or that my grandma sold her soul to the plant gods, let me explain why this actually works. Because it's not magic. It's science. Really nerdy, fascinating science that I'm about to make entertaining. You're welcome. Hydrangeas are drama queens. There, I said it. They're the divas of the plant world. They need humidity like I need coffee on a Monday morning, desperately and constantly. Here's what I was doing wrong with those first 29 plants, and what you're probably doing wrong too. Mistake number one, treating them like desert plants. Just because you water the soil doesn't mean the plant is happy. Hydrangeas originate from Asia and the Americas where humidity is high. Your living room, with its heating, air conditioning, and general dryness, that's basically the Sahara Desert to a hydrangea. When the air is too dry, the leaves can't perform photosynthesis efficiently. They close their stomata, those tiny pores on leaves, to preserve moisture, which means they can't breathe properly. It's like trying to run a marathon while holding your breath. Spoiler, you're gonna have a bad time. Mistake number two, overwatering the soil to compensate. Oh, this was my specialty. My hydrangeas weren't happy, so I watered them more, because more is always better, right? Wrong. So wrong. All I did was create root rot, which is exactly as pleasant as it sounds. The roots literally rot because they're drowning in water, can't get oxygen, and then fungus moves in like that annoying roommate who never pays rent. Mistake number three, ignoring the leaves entirely. I was so focused on the soil, the pot, the fertilizer, I completely forgot that plants actually absorb moisture through their leaves too. Mind blown. This is where the 3-drop method comes in, and why it's basically plant care sorcery. Here's what happens when you mist the leaves properly. The humidity around the plant increases immediately. It's like creating a tiny personal spa environment just for your hydrangea. Fancy, right? The stomata, those leaf pores, can open safely. This means the plant can actually breathe, perform photosynthesis, and do all the planty things it needs to do to survive. The leaves absorb water directly through tiny cracks and imperfections in the cuticle. It's like giving your plant a hydrating facial, which, let's be honest, we all need sometimes. The blooms stay plump and vibrant because they're getting consistent moisture without the roots drowning. But here's the catch, and this is where 29 plants taught me a painful lesson. It has to be consistent. 3 drops every morning. Not when you remember, not when you feel like it. Every morning. Think of it like skincare. You don't just moisturize once and expect glowing skin forever. You do it consistently. Your hydrangea is the same, except it can't text you passive-aggressive reminders like your dermatologist. So let me tell you about hydrangea number 30. Week 1, with the 3-drop method, the leaves perked up. I'm talking visible difference. They went from "please end my suffering" to "oh, hello, I might survive this." Week 2, new growth. Actual, real, green new growth. I literally took 17 photos. My camera roll became a hydrangea documentary. Week 3, the existing blooms got bigger, fuller, more vibrant. The blue became this deep, gorgeous color that looked like someone photoshopped it, except it was real. By week 4, I had people asking me where I bought my artificial flowers because they looked too perfect to be real. Do you understand how validating that was after 29 dead plants. It was like winning plant parent Olympics. I wanted to print certificates. I wanted to call everyone who'd ever doubted me. Now, 2 months later, this hydrangea has blooms that last for weeks instead of days. The leaves are glossy and healthy. There's no brown edges, no crispy bits, no signs of distress. My living room actually looks like those magazine photos I used to stare at longingly, except better because it's mine. I did this with 3 drops of water and consistency that would make a Marine drill sergeant proud. And you know what? People notice. Friends come over and immediately gravitate to my hydrangea corner. Yes, I now have a corner dedicated to hydrangeas because one success plant turned into an addiction, but we're not talking about that. They ask questions, they take photos. One friend literally asked if she could bring her date to my apartment just to show off her friend's amazing plants. I'm not sure if I should be flattered or concerned, but I'm going with flattered. All right, let's get practical. Because knowing the science is great, but actually doing it is what separates the plant killers from the plant parents. Here's exactly how to do the 3-drop method. Step 1. Use room temperature water. Not cold, not hot. Room temperature. You're not trying to shock your plant awake like a cold shower. You're gently hydrating it like a civilized human being. Step 2. Morning application. Do this in the morning, not at night. Why? Because moisture sitting on leaves overnight can lead to fungal issues. And we've already established that fungi are terrible roommates. Step 3. Target the leaves, not the blooms. Put 3 drops directly on the leaves. You can use a spray bottle on the mist setting, or if you want to be extra precise, like I do because I have control issues, use a dropper. Don't drench the blooms themselves. They're delicate. Step 4. Rotate your targeting. Don't hit the same 3 leaves every day. Spread the love. Rotate around the plant. Think of it as a hydration rotation system. Step 5. Consistency is everything. Set a phone alarm. Write it on your hand. Tattoo it on your forehead if you have to. Whatever it takes to make this a daily habit. Keep your hydrangea in bright indirect light, not direct sun, which will scorch those beautiful leaves faster than you can say, plant emergency. Water the soil when the top inch feels dry. Stick your finger in there. Get intimate with your plant's needs. Use well-draining soil. I cannot stress this enough. Root rot is still public enemy number 1. If you live in a particularly dry climate, consider a humidifier nearby. It's like giving your plant a permanent vacation to a tropical paradise. Here's what nobody tells you about plant care. It's not really about the plants. I mean, yes, obviously the plants matter, but the real magic? It's about creating a space that makes you feel something. Every morning when I do my 3-drop routine, there's this moment of calm. It's become my meditation. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet. The world is still quiet, and it's just me and my plants having a moment. And when I walk into my living room now and see those massive, vibrant blooms, I feel proud. I feel accomplished. I feel like maybe, just maybe, I've got this whole adult who has their life together thing figured out. I don't. But the plants don't have to know that. There's something deeply satisfying about nurturing something and watching it thrive. It's the same feeling you get when you cook a meal from scratch and it actually turns out edible, or when you fix something broken and it works again. You created this. This beautiful, living, thriving thing exists because of your effort. And honestly, in a world where so much feels out of our control, having this one small thing that responds directly to your care, that's powerful. Look, I shared my embarrassing story of killing 29 hydrangeas because I want you to skip that whole nightmare phase. You don't need to be a plant expert. You don't need a green thumb, whatever that means. You don't need expensive equipment or a degree in botany. You just need 3 drops of water and the commitment to show up every morning. If you found this helpful, if you're ready to transform your space into an Instagram-worthy paradise that makes your friends jealous and your neighbors curious, then subscribe to Plant Care Secret. Because here's the thing. This channel isn't about gatekeeping plant knowledge or making you feel bad for not knowing stuff. It's about sharing the real, honest, sometimes hilarious truth about plant care. We're building a community of people who've killed plants, probably multiple times, learned from it, and are ready to create spaces that spark joy. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications, because I'm dropping new plant secrets every week. And trust me, you don't want to miss what I'm covering next. Hint, it involves orchids, a minor breakdown, and a revelation about ice cubes that changed everything. Your living room doesn't have to be boring. Your space doesn't have to be fine or okay or I guess this works. With the right knowledge, and yes, 3 drops of water, you can create something extraordinary. Your plant journey starts with one choice. Are you going to be the person who gives up after the first crispy leaf? Or the person who shows up every morning with 3 drops and determination? I already know which one you are. You're here, watching this, ready to transform your space. So go grab your hydrangea, or go get one if you don't have one yet. I'll wait. Set that morning alarm, and let's do this. Drop a comment below telling me what's your biggest plant fail. Because I guarantee mine is worse. And I want to hear your stories. I'm rooting for you. Plant pun absolutely intended. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and remember, every plant parent started somewhere. Even the ones who killed 29 hydrangeas